Hey folks, welcome to Speed Bump. We're going to be doing this video game set of 3.
We got a lot of them. Yeah, so we've got 3 games today. We're going to be doing Mario Adventure, and the other 2 haven't been announced yet. So if you're ready, I can give them the countdown.
I am ready. We're pulling audio from player 1, I think. This dude.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to give them the countdown.
Alright, I'm starting that clock. They have 15 minutes to get distance in this game. We're basically just doing 3 little races, see who does the best in all 3 of these.
Yep. This first one is a classic. The Mario Adventure ROM hack is a fairly well-known SMB3 ROM hack. Is Patty B stream frozen, or did they just miss the countdown?
It looks like they are frozen. There it goes.
Awesome.
They have a really strange layout going on.
Yeah, I imagine when everyone's on that screen with the rain falling in the background, I imagine that looks really great on stream. Yeah, this is a standard SMB3 multi-world hack. It's a total conversion mod, so it's got all new levels, features. This one's a pretty old hack too, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
I'm looking for possible arcade pit challenges out of some of these.
2004. This hack's from 2004.
Yeah, it was a very popular one. I don't know a whole lot about ROM hacks. I'll stick to the ones that are ancient. I'm sure nothing's changed in the 20 years since this was released.
I find hacks from these older eras, you know, like the early 2000s, so much more impressive because a lot of these predate the more sophisticated tools that are available now. When you see a Super Mario World ROM hack from like the early 2000s, like, I mean, that's right at the beginning of Lunar Magic, so the tools weren't very sophisticated. So being able to pull off something impressive is so much different than now.
I hate Hammer Brothers. These ones are less bad than the Mario Brother ones, but I mean, there's so many of them. The boomerang guy's a little tricky, and the big guy is maybe more threatening than the first ones, but I really don't like the first Hammer Brother guys in the first game. Their clone in this one isn't as nasty. I think the first ones are just so random and hard to deal with. But we're seeing the whole variety here, just like that one stage in World 8, where it has all the brothers. There are 4 kinds in this game.
I mean, the original SMB3 had a lot of different brothers that just didn't get used all that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're all in one stage on World 8 together that I just actually played through it just today on the show. You got the big boy and fire spitter.
Mm-hmm.
Regular guy, regular dude.
Fire bro, boomerang bro, hammer bro, and sumo bro.
Have you played this one?
No, but I've watched a lot of it because some of the old SMB3 speedrunners I've seen do some runs of this.
I'm gonna fix your name on this layout. Yeah. I've done it. Alright.
My name is just too large.
That's right. It's like 10 letters.
11. Much to my frustration with every Nintendo name entry box I've ever seen.
Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster has you covered. If you'd like to be Sabin or something, you can call him whatever you want. I love.
I mean, I can suplex a train as well.
Yes, they put that in. It's my understanding that that wasn't in, and then somebody complained. A lot of people complained, and then they put it back in.
Oh, in the Pixel Remaster, they removed the ability to suplex the train?
It was in the trailer, I guess, that it didn't do it when they did it, and then everyone was mad, so they fixed it before release.
Incredible. I've never even played that Final Fantasy, and I'm familiar with that. Like, it seems like such an oversight if you don't make sure that that still works.
Yeah. It's a good move. It's a big train. Love to slam. There are so many glowing bills in this. Now those guys, all they do is move back and forth. They don't really go after you or anything like the ones in Mario World do. I can't even remember if it's Mario World. One of the Mario games has homing bills.
It's SMB3. There's a specific bullet bill cannon, like in one of the later worlds, that shoots bullet bills that track you.
My problem is that I'm only thinking in terms of Mario Maker, and that all of them have that in it because it's an element.
Right.
So now I'm confused which game it even is from.
Well, I mean, in SMB3, it's not like they move any direction. It's just they'll move left and right. They'll turn around to go back toward you.
Yeah, okay, so that was them then. There are 7 minutes left in this one, so if people don't like the game, it's not too long. It looks like a lot of people are stuck in on this level that, Digi subwoofers now walk. They're all here. In this one place.
The gang's all here.
Gotta hit that PAL switch to get around the plant and down the blocks. The Koopa Plains. This seems like a pretty advanced bunch of challenges. I'm used to this being a thing with ROM hacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty pervasive problem with ROM hacks that they're designed by people who have played and love the original game so much that in my opinion, it's unintentionally make the game too difficult. I don't think it's usually on purpose for most hacks. I mean, you know, like the Kaizo trend notwithstanding, I think most hack authors probably envision their hack as being relatively moderate difficulty. Not realizing that, yeah, but you're very good at SMB3.
I ran into that problem when I made some Mario Maker levels. Definitely did not mean to make them ridiculous. And when I realized it was, I just called it Sorry-O Brothers.
I mean, you know, not to get on my soapbox over it, but that's one of the reasons why my favorite Super Mario World ROM hack is the one it is. Return to Dinosaur Land is one of my absolute favorite ROM hacks of all time, because I think it's one of the few that actually nails the original game's difficulty perfectly. Like, all the levels in that, I think, are on par with the level of the original Super Mario World.
What about the tower climb ROM hack?
No, that would suck so much. I've played a Plumber for All Seasons. It's fantastic as well. I think that it's a difficult challenge.
My Mario Maker levels were awful. They were super mean. I think the hardest one I had was chain chomps swinging like pendulums with the wings so that they swung faster, and you had to bounce off of them. And there were things chasing you. And then I made a Russian roulette that I was really mechanically proud of. But then I realized you had to play Russian roulette with it, and you know, so you had incredibly low odds of being able to win. But you had to step on the switch, and then off screen a bunch of mechanisms would fire randomly based on time. And I made sure that you were delayed getting in there so that it would always be a little bit varied, even if you were as fast as could be.
So you're just mean, is what you're saying.
Pretty wild stage. You know how long it took to make a truly random mechanism? Computers can't even do this, but I did. Not really. I used the clock to seed it, because your character runs in and then you have to mess with the switch. You ever look at these super expert runners of Mario Maker?
I mean, I've seen people play through super expert. When you say runners, you mean like speedrunners who are very good at it, or?
There are at least 5 people who are in the 20s, thousands of not dying to that.
It's super expert?
Yeah,
that's
20,000
really impressive.
Super expert stages in a row. That is to say, they get more than 3 lives across the board. Yeah, on average. And you can do some trickery to get lives here and there. Like 1 turtle shell is enough to get 3. If there's like a, you know, arc step. But that's still ridiculous. Like, super expert's crazy. I think 20,000 something is the current lead for that. And it's just crazy that there's not only someone doing that, but there's more than one. Like, you watch somebody doing it and they're like incredible, and then they're 5th place. And they have like 19,000 plays. Yeah, knowing when to skip is very important to that, because there's a lot of stinkers. You might be surprised to learn that most of them aren't great levels. Does every stage end with that P-switch Piranha Plant Boom Boom, or is that just a different palette that Okami's on? I saw that a couple of times now.
I'm not sure.
I'm a little confused why it was blue this time. And what's the deal with the fireballs that Subwoofer has?
Yeah, they changed the fireball physics. It feels like one of those things that someone changed it because they could.
I don't know if it's better or worse. I would say somehow it's actually worse that it goes across the screen.
Probably worse. My opinion is that it's probably worse.
Like in Castlevania, you'd want that, but not in this, because the physics platforming make it so that all the enemies are below you, the Koopas especially. Bouncing is good.
Somehow I still think this was kinder to them than giving them the other one we were going to give them.
40 seconds left. I'm not sure who's in the lead, but that's all good. We said this might be hard to score this time.
Yeah. That's why we're not doing our normal little scoreboard. I think that this one's going to be difficult to score, and there's no real guarantee of any significant progress. We're just having some fun with some cool hacks. We did have some players do pretty well, though. I mean, you know, all told, as with a lot of ROM hacks, this one is not as easy as the original game, so...
Subwoofer's got the micropile driving Goombas on him. Infected can't jump. Time is up. That is it for this one. We're gonna switch to the next one.
Alright, I pass along game number 2.
Which one is that?
Rockman 5 Double Jumper.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played that one much, but I've played it enough to see Double Jump. Double Jump is cool. Everyone likes that. And I really like Mega Man 5. There is some changes to it, but I don't think it was too bad. There's also Dash Mode, which I think they can do. I think Dash Mode is super speed, like it's going to be super fun. Let me load up real quick and I'll check, but before you tell them that.
Dash Mode means you don't have to find and grab the dash upgrade per level.
Yeah. I think that should be the way they do it. It's going to be way more interesting. It's one of the features this one had. Is that there's a power-up in stage until you die where you just move at like 6 times speed. And it actually feels really good. And so they could just have that. That'll be fun. And they got Double Jump, of course. And it's Rockman 5 themed. I don't think the stages are exactly the same, but yeah. I did this during
Nalong brings up a good point. A lot of old Mario hacks, all the Mario games, kind of expected you to be save stating the whole way through them, so it probably was part of the expectation for this one.
They can do any boss order they want for this. I'm ready to go.
Alright, I have provided them with a countdown.
Who's your favorite Rockman 5 boss? As the Mega Man hero that you are.
I'm not sure I know all of the Mega Man 5 bosses offhand. That's the one that has Starman, right?
Yes.
Isn't that stage like really messed up?
It's not too bad.
Isn't that the one that the stage starts out with like you getting attacked by the stars from the sky, or...
Yeah, they're just asteroids, but it's not... This game is a really easy one for Mega Man. It's, you're very strong in this one.
Gotcha.
And you can see the dashing.
I always really liked speedruns of... I always thought that if I ever did do a speedrun of one of the original Mega Man games, it would be Mega Man 5, because it's the one that has the super arrow that you can just ride on.
Mm-hmm. You can beat this game in like... Oh, they're so much faster than me, and I used to speedrun it back in like 15, 20 years ago. I was trying to get good times in it, but my time has been cut in half. They're so much faster than me. They beat this game in 36 minutes or something. It takes me 25 to get the bosses killed sometimes. The Robot Masters, the 8 before you get to the other half of the game. So this thing in Starman stage, which most people are going to pick because Starman is the stage you go to first. You get Super Arrow there. Dude is trying to deal with it, but the arrows point to where the spikes aren't. And they're trying to double jump up to where they can get through without getting hit. They're making it. I felt like this was a very fair ROM hack, and I liked the speed up feature. I did do it during my Damage Shuffler days. I just mixed it in there, and it was completed way before some of the other original Mega Man games.
how fast can they beat this? Like, everything is moving at light speed here.
Has anyone beaten a boss yet? Digi was maybe on one? I didn't see if they got him or not. The boss order is different. One difference between this and Mega Man 5 regular is the prevalence of E-tanks, but I think they still drop lives all the time. One of the reasons this and 6 are really easy is because they really amped up the drop rates. Another thing this game does, it's kind of wild, it doesn't really help with a speedrun, but it helps for regular players. They have a thing called an M-tank, which is basically full ammo, full health for everything, just one big fill-up, and you get one. And whenever you use it, a new one could spawn in one of many locations. You can only ever have one at a time, and you won't see the other ones until you use it. Encouraging you to just use it, just spit it.
Have the levels been redesigned in this hack at all?
Oh yeah, they're huge differences. They've been designed for double jump and maybe even
okay, that's what I was wondering. There was a lot of stuff here that I was like, if you didn't have double jump, I don't know how you'd do some of this.
I don't know that double jump would be helpful in most of Mega Man 5. You'd be in a lot of tunnels.
Right.
There's a couple places.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. I was very confused because at first I was thinking this was one of those Mega Man hacks that's just changing something about the physics. There's a lot of those.
No, this one's full-fledged. It's just a whole new game, and I think it's a great one. I like the level
this is really
design.
awesome.
It is a little bit advanced. Mega Man 5 is my go-to, so I do play it a lot, so I was ready for this one, but I think it's not too much harder than the original, and you have so many nice features. Dude has made it. Starman is also different, if I recall. Yeah, he is. He's way different. The boss fights also being different is nice, because he's kind of a chump. He kind of just sits up there and throws stars and dies. Now he tries to track you with stars across the whole screen. They're quite large.
Yeah, this seems really tough to dodge.
I don't remember.
These like several giant circles of stars that feel like they'd be very difficult to avoid.
It's all about manipulating the boss fight so that he shoots them in the wrong place and then you leave that place. And you do have E-tanks in this too, you should probably use if you feel like you got a good run going. There was at least one boss who was really tough, and I can't remember who it was. Dudes using their E-tank, I wouldn't have done that because they haven't life left.
Right.
And they haven't really done anything yet. One thing with Starman that you can do is shoot through his shield by sticking your arm in there. You can clip your arm through and just blast through it. Which I was doing here, probably. Time Stalker's also working on it and has done a lot of damage, but is almost dead. I think they've got the fight done, though. It looks like they've got the idea.
Yeah, they've figured out the pattern, at least. But, I mean, knowing the pattern's one thing. Being able to actually dodge these giant wheels of stars is another.
One more and it's over. Time Stalker has destroyed Starman.
Digi's on, was this Napalm Man?
Yes. Now he is wanting you to slide under him or double jump over him. He is also kind of a... I think he's a fun fight in his normal days, but if you know how to fight him, he'll just stand next to you and miss, and you can slaughter him. This fight's way more interesting, but Digi's got it down. They're fast enough to cover all this. You can
This is really fascinating that they changed the boss mechanics. I've never... Or I guess I haven't dealt with enough Mega Man ROM hacks to be able to speak to it, but I feel like I've never really seen a Mega Man boss, or a Mega Man ROM hack that really made significant changes to the bosses.
Mega Man is a game series where the boss fights are a big part of it. They are very interestingly done. Compared to other platformer games, boss fights are not easy to make, and they have so many good ones across the series. So these are just brand new, and most of them are really nice. They really take advantage of things that Mega Man 5 probably couldn't have done. Yeah, dude is shooting through the shield like I was talking about there. Makes it way easier. He can get hits when he thinks he's safe. Yeah, well, I'm used to seeing vanilla boss behavior in like Mario World. It's a very common one to see, like, they didn't change anything. That's going away these days though. It looks like modern Mario World hacks have fixed that problem.
feel with how big the Super Mario World ROM hacking scene is becoming, like, more people are learning the right techniques, right? I think for a long time people kind of viewed making ROM hacks as its own thing. Like, you could make them as nasty as you wanted because people would use save states, and now that people are kind of treating them as proper games, I feel like people are actually approaching it from, okay, let's design a good game. So the quality of ROM hacks in the past even 5 years has gone. That was so nasty to Okami.
He tried to jump on the tank in the background.
He thought he could land on the tank. I'm so sorry, Okami.
Should have known the art better. Some Mega Man fan, I'll tell you. If you haven't played Minus Infinity and you want to play anything Mega Man ROM hack related, that's like the gold standard. It does so much wild stuff. It's an experience. It's a whole journey.
I feel like my eyes are open suddenly to all of these full conversions of Mega Man ROM hacks, because I've been so like laser focused on just the ones that change physics, because those are the ones that like Mega Man speedrunners are really into. So I've seen a lot of those, but I haven't seen a lot of ROM hacks that add new bosses and new stages and things like that.
Minus Infinity pushes the console beyond its limits and does some stuff that you would be interested in just from what can they do with the NES perspective more than what can they do with Mega Man. And then they have this like, they have multiple paths and endings and stuff. It's so good. It's so complicated. I'm sure you will enjoy it even if you're not a Mega Man man. It's just too good. I don't know why Nightbot timed you out from Rusher when you're already a regular. That's weird. It's breaking the law here. Thank you for the art, though. That's some good Animal Crossing Resident Evil. I had done the retro achievements for Mega Man 5 recently. It was what I was afraid of. They would have, can you beat every boss with just the Buster and no damage? Can you beat the whole game with no deaths? And then they have another one where you can't use any E-Tanks, and then they have another one where you have to use E-Tanks, so you have to go through the game twice, at least. But I got them all. Making sure Nightbot is not going. I don't know what his deal is.
Feels like it's probably very difficult to get a hit in here. Patty B's on what boss is this? I don't.
This is Gravity Man.
Gravity Man.
With double jump, you can do it. But yeah, he is. It's really a matter of just not stopping to move, and then when he does that shot, you can double jump around it. But Crash Man works this way, and a lot of other really hard bosses in Mega Man do, where if you keep moving, they actually have a lot of trouble hitting you. Gravity Man flips gravity, takes a shot at you, and then calls it a day. That's almost all he normally does. So this is a way more interesting fight than what he normally is.
Patty was having a hard time landing that last hit, and I don't blame him. You only really get that one chance when you're swapping places.
Right. Okami's got another boss dead. Subwoofer's just beat, I think that's Wave Man. I don't remember what the powers might be different. Nobody's really using them. They might be way better than they normally are. I'm not sure. Cannot remember.
This hack really likes doing that thing where you're falling down a tunnel, and then you have to use your second jump to find a secret path.
I saw Digi use some of the weapons, and yeah, they are radically different. So they modified those as well.
Oh, interesting.
The weapons in this game are okay. They're not... The Buster's just so good that you could get away with just never using most of them, but they're alright. I use them sometimes here and there. They have an interesting one with Gravity Hold where every enemy on the screen gets hit, and they have a secret HP value for gravity health, and when it's exceeded, they will fly off and die. You can do it to just about every enemy, but some of them will take like 6 hits and some of them will take 1, so you can get the small boys with just 1. If they look like light enemies, they typically have 1 gravity health, and you can just suck them away. But if you're trying to suck away like a giant tiger or something, you're gonna lose half your bar. Yeah, I don't know why Nightbot is doing that. Nightbot's drunk. I'm gonna tell to rejoin, I think. We have 2 minutes left. So Waveman here is was really annoying to Buster Duel with no damage taken. Aw, dude died to him. They did discover the weakness, though. The hack here did a little bit of a joke and completely reversed the boss weakness order. So Star Crash is good here instead of the other way around.
Right. Our players have 1.5 minutes left.
That Star Shield is a piercing shot now. It's really nice looking. It usually disintegrates after 1 hit. One struggle is, in this game, when you get hit, you lose your Buster charge. And the Buster's so good. So, you lose this big beefy damage if you can't evade. I think Okami's got the most progress by a good bit here. The Gravity Man stages, the original one too, I think they're really neat. I think they're really well done. And this one is as well, and it takes advantage of double jump. It's super nice. I've removed Nightbot for the moment. It's because he's going nuts. I'll put him back in a second, but yeah, you're free to post.
He's not trustworthy. He's not reliable.
Time is up on Mega Man.
Get him out of here.
I'm watching the Charge Man fight. Charge Man is the worst boss for the... One of the achievements was to beat all 8 of them in a row without being hit a single time, and Charge Man is who I started with, because he's just such a jerk. Pure random. Thank you. Yeah, Nightbot might just be on the fritz. Discord sure is. Well, we have one more game left. And I'm interested in it.
Let me pass it along to them.
I was thinking about trying to find a place where I can localize my, people's fan art submissions. I don't know about how to do that, but just a place where people can send it in and I can look at it. Put it on screen if I like it.
Well, we've got our last game popping up on everyone's screens right about now.
A
We've
bunch
got
of
Board
folks.
Fight.
A bunch of folks present Board Fight, which is a strange name for what apparently is the ultimate balloon fight hack, adding its own levels. There's another one which is called 42 Balloon Fight Collection, which is like 10 of them in one. But this author makes balloon fight hacks. Their name is Quick Curly, and this one came out in 2020. No, 2015 for this one. I was looking for more Balloon Fight. It is the ultimate joust game, and it's really good in PvP. Just like this is something at Magfest I like to give on stage and have the players try to kill each other. It's a really powerful
Balloon
controlled...
Fight's a ton of fun.
Yeah. So they'll be doing just one player game, getting as far as they can in 15 minutes. As many points as they can gather. And I think one of the changes is they have 6 lives and no regenerating balloons. That is to say, in the bonus rounds,
No
you
bonus
get your
games.
balloons back. Yeah.
I think it removes the bonus games if I was reading correctly.
Yeah,
I only
so-
played the first like 3 boards just to see if the patch worked, but if what I was reading in the README was correct, it's removed all the bonus games, so earning extra lives might be pretty challenging.
Ready to go.
I'm gonna give them that countdown.
Yeah, Balloon Fight's really the only problem with it is there is a lack of stages and difficulty. It doesn't really scale up the way Joust does. Joust is despicable the way it scales up. So I was curious if this one throws in something tough. And it looks like already on level 2, this is kind of annoying to swim around. So that's what I want to see, I guess. And there's also a bunch of obstacles in this game. Bars, mostly, that shove you around. They can be used violently.
The screenshot showed some pretty interesting levels using more than just Balloon Fight's graphics set as well.
So in Joust, there's a pterodactyl that comes out to eat you, and you have to hit it like in the 1 pixel mouth if you want to kill it, which is like barely off the floor. You want to just lightly hop and hit it with your spear, or your lance, whatever, to get rid of it. And sometimes they have 2 of them at once. And then they have 3 different types of AI that do... One of them is just kind of like a loser, like these guys right now, they just kind of float around. Another one bounces up and down at like light speed. And then the last one hovers at the top where you can't really kill them, which is really awful for you. Those are the 3 Joust AI. One of my traditions in Magfest is
I
to...
never found Joust all that fun.
Yeah, it's kind of empty. I mean, it's alright. It's this game with, I think, less charm, but it has more stages. More difficulty, anyway. One of my traditions at Magfest is to find the Joust arcade cabinet and set the record on it, whatever it is. I gotta be at the top spot.
Better get there early in the week.
Nah, people are bad at Joust. It doesn't usually take much. Just like level 20 or something, I'm usually there. It doesn't usually take more than 1 try.
I don't think I could get to level 20 in Joust, being honest.
Nobody's familiar with the Joust ways. Ghouls and Ghosts is usually there too, but I'm never the top in that. Yeah, someone else can have that one. So Balloon Fight has 2 control schemes, and you can use them both at once. One of them is tapping the button, and the other one is holding it, and they both fly in different directions. You can use them both to get super acceleration, or you can just hover around if you want. And when you have 2 balloons, you have better air control than when you have 1.
I don't think I ever noticed that your control gets worse when you lose one of your balloons.
It's mild. It's not like Star Fox where it's awful, but it is different.
Right.
And I think your acceleration might be a little different too. The sounds of this aren't bad. Is that Link 2 that we're looking at over there on a commie screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Zelda 2 graphics.
Why is Zelda sideways?
I love Zelda 2, don't you start.
I just go into the Zelda 2 streams, always ask that, nobody ever answers. They ignore me. I think it's a valid question. What's she doing?
Our players are doing pretty well.
This is what I figured is a little bit of stage design is all you needed to make this game solid. Like, it's not really complete the way it normally is. You need more of this. Balloon fight needs to get a little nasty. I think I am interested in using this for challenges just to expand my balloon fight arcade pit challenge pool. Because we can only do so much before the game loops. I think there's like maybe 15 stages in the regular game. And the first 6 are almost the same thing. They really need a nasty man with like 3 balloons who's like really rude. That's the other thing this game is missing. Or some other entirely other kind of guy.
None of the enemies you encounter, it doesn't ever feel like they're any real threat.
Yeah,
so if you had like one enemy who's like really aggressive and has more balloons, that might be nice.
Yeah, that's the thing that's missing here from Joust. That's where the difficulty comes from. These lightning bolts are not friendly, but they're not usually too common.
And they're fairly predictable.
And then the fish in the water, just like the hand in Joust, but a little bit more deadly. It doesn't, you just don't go near that. Just don't go down there, it's fine. That's for somebody else to deal with. I haven't played the Game Boy anything really. I need to even play Tetris.
Oh, you've never played Tetris before? I think you'd really enjoy it.
NES Tetris is still pretty good to me, and I really like Tetris 99 and DS Tetris.
I'll never be good enough at Tetris to be able to handle Tetris 99.
Oh, that one you can manipulate. I bet you can get some wins. Just with strategy.
I mean, I would have to be good at Tetris, though.
Maybe. That might not be true. You might, with average opponents, be able to just outsmart them and get a bunch of points and double your damage. 99's a little crazy. You could at least get to the end just by getting people to attack you. You get the huge bonus where one line for you clears 12 of your garbage and sends 12 to everyone that's attacking you. And if you kill any of them, you get this like bonus to your damage, and then you multiply.
Right.
So that works. That works pretty well. Did you know, in gaming news recently, some kid defeated the kill screen of Tetris?
I did see that, yeah.
NES Tetris, formerly TAS only, formerly AI Tetris, could reach that level, where the game does give up
Tetris
eventually.
is finally beaten.
Yeah. The game kind of just goes into, like, the level is now junk, it's just jargon, garbage, it's just a bunch of letters instead of numbers now, and then they give up and eventually break, and a human has made it there. I don't know how many levels that even is. It's quite a few. The methods in which they multi-tap, I think, is, I've never seen anyone do that in any other game. They tap the bottom of the controller to get faster tapping than just mashing would give you.
Yeah, I wonder how hard that is on the hands, because it seems like compared to other mashing techniques, that's probably way easier on the hand to just tap your fingers like that.
I think it is.
I've never mashed like that before to know what sort of fatigue you get from that.
Yeah, I think Okami is looking at levels here from the start of Balloon Fight 1. I recognize this one, more or less. It's got a couple more platforms, I think. I think they have looped the game. Cruisin'. We can go by score on this one at least to see who's actually made it the furthest, because mostly score comes from killing these guys midair or just grabbing bubbles. But it's not too... it doesn't deviate too much.
One of those enemies just popped a balloon, like popped dude's balloon, and it gave him points for it. Which I mean, good for him, honestly. There's a silver lining to every failure.
Yeah, unfortunately, mashing is a thing, especially in speedrunning sometimes, that just can't be avoided. And for that particular game, I don't know how you would even do it. Like, you can't really even turbo that one. You need a very precise number of button clicks to get your silly little piece in the right spot.
Like with classic Sonic speedrunning, that even though there is a mashing technique for setting up a spin at the beginning, like in Sonic 2 and 3, you couldn't turbo it because you need to press a very specific number of times.
The Symphony of the Night speedrun is the one I go to, is the worst one that I wanted to do. That I knew immediately when I tried it I wasn't gonna do it. You mash the shield button and backdash the entire time you walk through the castle.
Yeah.
And then when you get bat form, you crush through the rest of the castle with an input that you just never stop doing.
Oh yeah, doing the wing smash.
Yeah. So that's a full 360-degree turn on the D-pad, I think, and then you release a button over and over again. I think that's how it works. Not only is that painful, it's also not what I'm interested in. It's not very fun to me to try and precisely do that kind of stuff.
I don't personally have a lot of respect for mashing as a technique. I'm very glad, as I've gotten into doing like retro achievements, that they allow for mashing for everything, which is really nice, because mashing's terrible for your hands.
Yeah, we had track and field on Arcade Pit today, and it's reminding me. Somebody had complained about it before that I probably shouldn't even have those games on there. I don't disagree.
Yeah, it's valid.
So that might be the last sighting of track and field. If I let turbo on for those, then that particular event is pointless, so I have to deal with that. Board fight. I wonder what Balloon Trip is like.
I wonder if they even modified it.
There are events in track and field and caveman games that require mashing as a baseline, and then you have to react and do other stuff at the same time. Hurdles and stuff. That would be okay. The 100-meter dash obviously would be gone.
We've got just a few minutes left before the end of this race. And all of our players have some pretty awesome scores.
Yeah.
Patty B has ended up taking an unfortunate game over at one point, but otherwise everyone else got over 200,000, and Patty B's would be over 200,000 now if they hadn't game overed, so...
NES Power Pad for track and field. I didn't have this. I had the big, silly, I still have it, joystick and giant, like, I don't know what the hell it's called, let me see. Advantage? NES Advantage controller, that's it. And that has turbo built into it. So, eat shit, track and field. I ain't doing that, man. Even as a child, I was done with that. Game was impossible. Even with turbo, I feel like I wasn't winning. Like, that game wants perfect mashing. the NES Advantage has a joystick instead of a D-pad, and you can unscrew the orb on the joystick for some reason, and I always do that because I like to mess around with things that I can unscrew.
I had a NES Advantage. I didn't know that you could take off the...
Yeah, the black orb, it unscrews.
Yeah.
I love fidget toys.
Wonder if you can replace it with, like, gear shifter mods.
I don't know why you can... Yeah, I guess maybe there's alternate ones you can put on or something. That gotta be why, because why else would you take it off? I didn't have anything like that, though. Dude has finally game overed in the last 15 seconds. That's our games.
There we go. That's time.
There's the buzzer.
Well, it looks like, as far as I can tell, Okami took that one. I think Okami was the only one in the 300,000s, unless Dude was in there, because I don't think anyone else got it. But that's our race. That was awesome. Still a somewhat limited collection of levels, but much more interesting than the original balloon fight.
Yeah, this is the... I didn't see any other ones, but it must be possible to make some, and I wouldn't mind jumping in on that. I wonder if... I was thinking about Kurin. Apparently there's more than one game for that.
Yeah, there's, I think 4 Kurin games.
Have you played Irritating Stick?
That's the PS1 one, right? I don't think I have.
It's similar. It's not really the same. It's like moving a dot around instead of a rotating stick, but concept. I'll try some more of these Kurin games though, because we need more stages of those. That game only shows up every single arcade pit, so why not have a second one that does it? I don't know why it shows up so much. I think it's because people are avoiding the challenges and it sees that no one's played them yet, and it's like, hey, look at this. It's supposed to be equal. I think I am going to try to get some sleep for the first time in 5 days. We can do Rocky and Bullwinkle tomorrow if you want, or something.
I think I should be able to tomorrow. We'll talk. I don't think I have anything planned for tomorrow, so I think we can do that.
Okay, I'll be around. Thanks for playing Off the Blues.
Yep, take it easy.
See you later. Folks, we have MagFest on Saturday. Arcade... Well, MagFest is Wednesday. I'll be there. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be gone Sunday. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be there. So Saturday night, Arcade Pit. If you're there and you aren't at one of the concerts that apparently is running at the same time, you're welcome to stop on by. We got some show to do. I'm setting it up now. I will not be on GDQ this week, obviously, because they are doing a GDQ, but we will be on the 31st. I think that's it for announcements. I'm working on Reciteer. I got the credits. I found my old save. I'm going to load that up sometime, maybe tomorrow. I'm working on the Pixel Remaster of FF6. I think I'm looking at retro achievements for FF7 when I get to it. And I forget what else I was playing. I think that was it. I think it was those 3 things. But if you are a patron or sub, I'm officially at this point, if it's a month goes by, you should give me another game you want to put in the Gong Show queue. So on Patreon, there's a channel for that, and if you see me doing Gong Show and you're subbed, feel free to tag me and drop another game in there. I think I'm just going to regularly do that. Yeah, I'm curious what the retro achievements for 7 look like, so I think I will try to do as many of them as I can. And Chrono Trigger, I also want to do on retro achievements. I've read those ones, and they look fine. It's Collect Every Cat is going to be the worst one, because that's boring. But it's nothing I haven't done before, and we were allowed to use Turbo, so I'll get it. And it'll only take like 20 minutes of real time. But they also have a couple challenges that are like, what if you use the wrong characters and you're not allowed to multi-hit the boss? That might be tough. I'm not sure what that's going to do to me. Hey, y'all have a good night. I'll find somebody to host you. Let's see.